particularly the Void, because again, he can't really he's going to be doing a lot of damage in a very short time span. Axe is just going to punish that very hard, get the dunk off. It's also good to take this away from Cignal, so it's kind of a soft ban in that sense as well, because the Axe Skyrat Mage combination is quite ridiculous, and you really don't want to be playing up against that. That is just constant action coming out from Cignal if they do get that good start with this hero. So Geek Fam picking it up for themselves is quite nice. I like it. You have some great synergy with Grimstroke as well, blinking in with this Inkswell on, and then following up with a call after is pretty potent if you're going to time it that way. Otherwise, you can do the call first, and then Inkswell to come in after the call is done. It just works out quite fine. It's really potent with Geek Fam's draft. I'm wondering what else they're going to pick, though. This is a solid combo, but are they going to be building off that Grimstroke once again, as we see some teams do? Or are they just going to go with their own thing?
Find out. Cignal Ultra. Reserve time ticking down for themselves now. Where are they headed with this? I mean, it's already a pretty solid lineup as it is. Going to see some more calls coming out from the Cignal Ultra side, and it looks like they'll go for the Legion Commander, which we saw again once today. Unfortunately, did not have the greatest game in the world. I wonder though. I don't really see a reason for the Legion right now. I mean, it suits the Skyrath with the Mystic Flare, and I suppose it's very
That's it.
annoying with the Lich.
That's really it. It's the Sky Legion combo. It's a
Right.
straightforward combo. You wanted something that can maybe pick up the pace a bit outside of that Chrono as well, and it does the job. If not, you can always buff up your Void to give him a little bit more attack speed in Chrono. That's always useful as well. The OD pickup from Geek Fam is pretty promising. That is pretty nice and strong, especially against that Legion Commander. The duels aren't going to be as successful as you'd want, especially if you Astral the target. So that's a nice saving grace coming out from Geek Fam. Ties in that loose end with the LC quite nicely. It's still a pretty potent combo coming out from Cignal, though, so you've got to watch out there. Geek Fam's draft is going to be relying on the Axe to really snowball early on. OD does take a bit of farm to be effective, a bit of EXP to be effective. Although up against the lineup on Cignal Ultra, it should be easy to punish the Void if he forces a fight when OD is around.
An interesting match already. We do have one more pick left for either side, but Cignal Ultra, one ban to go for them before we get to see that, and they actually get rid of the Sven this time. And you mentioned that last game with the Grimstroke. It is quite a potent little combo. The Cignal, they do not want to play against it. They'll just get rid of it immediately. Do you really see any other position ones that suit that Soulbind with the Grimstroke, or do they just kind of ignore that and just use it as is and go for another position one that doesn't really care for it?
I think in this case you can definitely just go with something else. If you did opt for that, you have pretty strong cores already, so you're not going to be having to build off of the Soulbind for your soul combinations. I think you'll be relying much more on the Axe to get stuff done anyway with his calls. So that's going to be your main initiation, your main way to start a fight, and you can really just afford to go with whatever you're comfy with here for Geek Fam. Quite a few options left on the table. The Gyrocopter is still in the pool if they want to go that route. I'm not sure if you'd really want it in this case, but you do have the Ogre Magi to buff up a hero like that. Yeah, there you go. The Gyro does come out in the end. Straightforward pick. Gives you a good amount of team fight. Uh, you have the Ogre Magi to buff you up. Good damage. Good at all points in the game. And it should do decently. My one worry is that if Cignal Ultra's lanes go a bit too well, you're going to be struggling to find farm for the Axe, the Gyro, and the OD. All of these heroes will want to eat through that jungle. The Axe and Gyrocopter more so than anything else. And Cignal just follows up with Lina, another hero that works outside of the Chronosphere, follows up the Void. We've seen this countless times, and it just makes sense. I have no qualms about that. I think it works well with the Skyrat Mage as well, amping up that damage. So you have a good amount of damage in that Chronosphere, a good amount of combinations outside of that long cooldown early on, and it just looks like Cignal is going to be building off of what they did in Game 1, perhaps with a faster pace, because they've got lower cooldowns on a couple of heroes. The biggest one is really that Chronosphere right now. So you can play around with the LC Sky, the Sky Lina, and Lich can just kind of help out the Void every single time.
Looks to be a very fun matchup, John. I gotta admit, I'm slightly concerned about this gyro pick. I know you already talked about why it's good, and it is good because of those reasons, but we saw how good Nando was playing last game. And we can't forget, it was a Wraith King with 2 lives and a false promise to help him out. This gyrocopter, though, isn't he kind of like a sitting duck with the chrono of Nando being available?
Yeah, he's going to have to play really safe at the back line. He can't afford to be up front. Cuckoo's going to have to step up the pace here, be the guy to bait it out. But Cignal has always found those big targets in Raven anyway. And granted, this is a better farming hero for Raven. It fits his tendency to just farm for a long time much better. And it fits his early aggression if they opt to do that way as well. I like the power spikes better on the gyrocopter for him. I'm not sure if it's going to be having the best game here because, again, you have a lot of great single target control from Cignal, and then you have the Chronosphere to constantly worry about. They can really build up fast here as Ultra. I mean, you could just pretty much, in this case, you could just ignore Nando entirely and just build off the back of that LC, finding the duels, and it's going to be really easy to find those duels as long as OD's not there for the imprisonment. And just scale off the LC for the mid game. You could do that as well.
Well, last game of the night, John. We'll make it a good one. And it should be a good one at that, with all these beautiful heroes and ultimates available between both teams.
You die.
Of course, it does seem like a lot will be riding, like you already mentioned, on Cuckoo on that axe. He's going to really be up there to set up for the team this time around. Not that the Night Stalk was bad last game, it just didn't seem like it was impactful enough. The axe of Cuckoo. See how well he does on it. Of course, Zephyr is one person we didn't talk about much last game, John, but the man on the Grimstroke was always on point. I mean, Zephyr has been playing perfectly all day.
Yeah, he definitely has. Again, in that last game, it was his sights and his soulbinds that were doing a lot of work keeping Geek Fam in the game, alongside Dubu's Oracle saving everyone else. He was the offensive package for the supports. Oh, Cuckoo.
Cuckoo's just tearing people apart today. This man's a savage. He just never has enough.
No fun for Jamesy. No fun. Just good luck.
And only for him as well. The rest of the team to just go screw themselves, apparently. Zephyr understands exactly where they are. Cuckoo will show himself as well. Went for the level 1 battle hunger, so they are just going to have a little bit of a scuttle over this bounty rune. Nando will be able to grab it anyway, and now we'll move forward with the body blocks. Try to get as much damage as you can with Eris just spamming those arcane bolts. And Cuckoo may actually just be dead here. In fact, I think he is. The last arcane bolt flying out, and Cuckoo, he has a salve. He will not commit it. Burst Blood will go the way of the Radiant. Zephyr will find a trade. But that is not the performance I was talking about, John.
No, definitely not. That's a really good start for Cignal. He forced the axe back. I believe he expended 1 tango as well. He's not going to be very happy about that at all. He goes back in the lane with full EXP at least, but he went for level 1 Battle Hunger, which means he can't creep skip. He can't really apply pressure by spinning on people. His pressure is going to be on the supports with a Battle Hunger, which works out okay, but I don't think Grims cares.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, Nando doesn't care at all either. Just keeps on moving up towards Cuckoo, understanding he has the advantage, at least for now, without that counter helix. He'll apply as much pressure as he can. Look over to that mid lane in Ryoya. It's going to be a rough time up against Lina. Even if you are the OD, just Jamesy being able to attack from a mile away and just spam all these abilities at you as well. It's never fun playing up against the Lina in the mid lane.
Never is. At the least, the OD does have ways of clearing out the wave himself quite effectively. It does require him to walk up close quite a fair bit because of Astral's range scaling. Nonetheless, he should be able to find farm. He has to be careful about his overextensions because every time he cops a spell, it's a bit costly.
Certainly is. Of course, top lane, LC falling low. Van has to be careful as Raven gonna move in and does find the kill. Now Eris, he'll be okay. Van, not so much. Though we did see this last game where he had a struggle at the start of the game and then just took over the net worth board as the Sand King. But definitely doesn't want to die too much to the gyrocopter of Raven. I mean, this Gyro tends to be online a bit earlier than the Wraith King can be. May have even more influence as well.
Definitely so. This lane is much harder for Van than it was last time, mainly because he can't farm as fast as the Sand King. Doesn't have anything like the Sandstorm. He only has overwhelming odds to really clear out stuff. He has more of lane presence in terms of regen sustainability, but these are really tanky heroes, at the very least in the form of Doobie. He's just going to be a constant nuisance. He's not going to mind these trades at all.
Dubu will just keep running forward, keep smacking away at this Legion Commander. Homing Missile, of course, will connect, and Dubu says, thank you, I'll go in for more. Van will try and fight back with his moment of courage. Should be alright. That's the thing with while you're versing a gyrocopter, you can't be caught out without any creeps around you because that rocket barrage just destroys you. Dubu's always looking for that opportunity to get a fire blast off and set up for that. Meanwhile though, looking back at bot lane, Cuckoo now has the counter helix and suddenly Nando's life got a hell of a lot harder. In fact, he almost ends up falling. So while Nando is still doing very well in terms of last hits, that may just slow down a little bit now.
Definitely so. It's going to be a bit of a rough time for him. He has to play around his time walk to really suss out whether or not it's safe to move in. It's going to be a bit scarier once you have one level of call as well in Cuckoo, because he can just randomly force you low, and the timing on that time walk could be bad.
Dubu will go ahead and sacrifice himself to the T1 top tower and just come back with full mana, so he wasn't interested in surviving any longer without that mana regen. Looks like he'll bring some items out as well for his gyrocopter. Raven. Copying a fair bit of harassment now from the Skywrath Mage being played by Eris. Eris just continuously spamming those arcane bolts, and it's just very frustrating to be up against. But he doesn't really have any more mana regen, and while I'm saying that, Cuckoo again falling down to the bot lane. Zephyr gonna try and turn around by himself. He'll find Grims. Can he find Nando though? Probably not, although he is gonna chase. Time Walk is actually not available, and he has a haste rune. Zephyr, one more stroke of fate would do it. Can he find, or can he predict? He will. Oh. Nando gets taken down, and Zephyr once again, John. I mean, the man just does it himself.
Yeah, he is always on point for his positioning, and he has done this a couple of times with the power green pickup as well.
When all goes to hell, just expect Zephyr to make something happen for your side. Exactly what he does. So, 5-minute batteries are popped up. Dubu gonna be chased down by Eris now. Eris though will give up the chase. I mean, he doesn't really want to waste his mana just on the Ogre. Rather use that on the gyrocopter if you can. So a 3-5 slight net worth lead for the side of Geek fam. It does look like Nando is still farming very well though. This is my concern for the side of Geek fam is, well, bot lane Cuckoo may end up dying again. Grims has the Frost Nova, does commit it. Now the Inkswell though, Nando could be in trouble as he doesn't have Time Walk available. He may go after Zephyr instead. Cuckoo, he will manage to salve up while running away. Zephyr though is going to be chased down, and Nando is going to hope for a lucky bash. It does not come though. And now Nando may actually be in trouble as they turn it around. Silence is there. He has Time Walk, but he needs to get that silence off, and he does. And so with that, he can salve up on his own as well. So two very close calls down to that bot lane. None of them really going down though.
Yeah, it's a lot of skirmishes here and there coming out from Geek Cam. I like the understanding they have now that slowing down Nando is going to be a big part of this game. And they really have been trying to lay that pressure on. The issue is Nando is still finding what he wants. He's 0-1, but with 2 assists, he's managed to find some good AoE gold. His last hits are up there as well. And he's still having a fairly decent time. He is going to go for the power treads first before the Midas. And once that's up, you know, his farm is just going to go way up there.
Back over to James in that mid lane. He's just, I mean, I wouldn't say he's completely dominating because you do still see some really nice farm on Ryoya, but he's just not struggling at all. He's got complete control of this lane. He continues pushing the wave out towards that tier 1 tower. But top lane, it looks like Raven almost ends up going down, but Dubu, he'll be the trade here. Van is not going to give up with Eris. They go ahead and concussive shot and take the kill. The Raven, I believe he wants to maybe deny himself off to a tower, and that is exactly where he's going, though Eris is going to show up, though no Raven, he wants to go for the kill. Eris has no mana, and he finds it, and just TP's out of there. They're TPing down to try and find him. Chrono! Nando!
Oh,
No!
Nando.
Oh no. I mean, you can't blame him for trying. He had to try, he already TP'd up. It's the first Chrono of the game. But Raven, he outplayed them pretty darn hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I like the bravery though. I really appreciate the bravery coming out from Nando, but this is a massive opening they could abuse now.
Silence is gonna come out. Flat cannon being popped as well as the homing missile, but Nando is already behind that tier 1 tower. So they'll leave him be. I think they've already gotten enough out of Nando as it is, just with that Chrono usage and the TP up top. Considering the fact that Nando was having a pretty decent time down at the bot lane, probably not going to be too happy with the fact that now he's essentially gone to a harder lane in the form of that top lane.
Yeah, he's just going to dip into that jungle. He's not going to even bother trying to contest. I think that's fair enough. No need to risk yourself in a bad lane. Just go farm the jungle, get it safe, give your Lich some EXP, I suppose, and just kind of take it, you know. You made a bad rotation, it happens. You just find farm where you can.
And I keep looking back to this mid lane where Jamesy has essentially just been allowed to free farm the whole time. Same could be said for Ryoya. Again, he is only one last hit behind. Not 100% sure who I'm more concerned about right now, whether it's the Lina or the OD.
You know, I'm actually interested to see when Jamesy opts to use his Laguna. He has to time it well because there are ways to stop it from coming out.
Eris might find Ryoya here, though no, we'll leave it be. They'll go after Dubu instead, and there's the Laguna coming out. You ask for it, John, and they give it to you. I suppose
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, he'd really want to get the OD, but the issue is, again, he's playing around with the Astral from Ryoya. He's always conscious. It's very easy to dodge that spell, highly telegraphed, so he really can't risk it, even if Ryoya does drop to that range.
Cuckoo. Gonna get chased down. Jewel is available, but he's gonna pop the mango for it. Van, does he really want this? Cuckoo is a very tanky target, and there is turn potential, but they are gonna go for it. Eris, he doesn't have Mystic Flare yet. They won't find the Jewel victory, but they will find the kill. Jamesy will rotate over on the Lina, and he will clean up. So a 6-6 now. 2 banner runes for each side. Looks like they might find Nando now.
Oh boy.
Astral will be there. Ryoya. There's the Inkswell. Silence as well. Yeah, just drop the hammer. No wasting time here, but Jamesy is around and he will find somewhat of a trade. Definitely not what you wanted, because you did lose your position 1 Void, but it's something.
It's better than nothing at the very least. They still managed to trade there. Nando's definitely not going to be happy about that one. Slows down his Midas by a tad bit. Not too much, but still. A slowdown is a slowdown. It's not as smooth of a game for Nando this time around. He is somewhat struggling in terms of form overall. Granted, it's still at the 11-minute mark, but he is currently sitting at position number...
Nando?
What is that, 5?
Oh, Nando. He may die again, John. He just TP'd in bot lane. Oh, Cuckoo. Baited him in. He had the Chrono available. He wanted to try and get some preemptive damage out. Geek fam were ready for it. Now the Walk of Shame back to the lane will begin for the Void once he respawns in about 10 seconds. Suddenly that Midas timing you were talking about, John, it's been slowed down quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely will. Again, it looks like Geek fam finally understand what they have to do here. Attack that Void while he doesn't have any strong combinations, or while Cignal's not willing to throw their strong combos out, looking for far more. And they have been abusing that. They are really strong early on. Raven's been much more active in the map, having an active presence and making all the difference in these fights. There is a smoke from Cignal now, but will they be able to find anything big? Oh yeah.
Chrono, mid lane, Mystic Flare, they found Raven, they will take him out. Zephyr, Ink Swall's up, he's just dead though, but Cuckoo is still running in. Cuckoo loses a lot of his HP in the process, and well, Van doesn't want to give up on this. He has the jewel available, but it looks like Cuckoo will just outrun him. So, a nice Chrono setting up with the Mystic Flare, just bursting down Raven on the Gyrocopter. And with that, they will go ahead and take the tier 1 tower. And again, I mean, Cignal Ultra, 9 to 8, slight net worth lead, but it almost looks like a repeat of game 1.
It feels like it. It's definitely not as similar. Again, you are looking at a much more active Raven in this game. He is much more around the map, and he's trying to abuse the times when the supports are straggling.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ryoya desperately getting that farm up. Looks like he's going for the Veil of Discord. He'll have it up pretty darn soon as well. He just needs the Helm of the Iron Will. Jamesy, he was actually going for that Aether Lens, and he has picked that up now. Going straight into the BOT straight after that, which does indicate quite a bit of aggression here from Jamesy. I suppose when you've been able to farm up this easily, I don't blame him for just being able to go for the big items quickly.
Yeah, I don't think there's any issue with the BOTs in this case. You really want to be around the map, able to respond, because Raven is just going to be doing this split push into a fight every now and again, and you want to exploit the moments when Raven's weak.
Bot lane. There's a bit of a rotation coming in from Cignal Ultra. Jamesy gonna TP in. He does hit the Light Strike array though. Dubu will easily go down here. Nice easy pickup. A lot of rotations though from the side of Cignal Ultra for that. They do eventually stop the tier 2 push attempt that was slowly coming in. Thing is though, and if I may, I mean Cuckoo, he's getting close to that Blink Dagger. It does seem like that's what Geek fam needs right now. It's just that initiation though. The thing is, he hasn't really gotten any other items apart from the phase boot, so he's not as tanky as you would hope on this axe.
That's still perfectly fine in this case. The physical damage coming out from Cignal is not amazing. Even the Faceless Void is really locked into getting those time locks on. I think there's a lot of value in just being able to jump in, start the fight for your team right now. If anything else, I mean, you jump in, Ryoya could just follow up and imprison you just to make sure you're not going to die from your own call. But they definitely need a way to close the gap. And right now, that's going to be Cuckoo. So he has his blink up. He's going to be able to jump around the camps as well, farm a bit faster.
Look out for that Void as well, John Nando. He's got the Chrono back up. He was looking for a Chrono attempt down at the bot lane, but he doesn't quite find one. Still, he'll get back to farming with his Midas. Get as much going up as he can and go straight into the Maelstrom after that. Though Smoke is going to be there now for the side of Geek fam, so they want to try and get aggressive. Cuckoo, he does have the blink up, and Smoke is broken on Grims. That's unfortunate for the side of Geek fam, because they're not really going to be able to pull off a real surprise with this blink now. And Cignal are ready for it. They're just waiting for them to try and come in. They do. Cuckoo jumps in. They look at Nando, ready with the Chrono. He jumps in. It's not quite there yet, but Dubu, he is easily going to be taken out as well. And it's almost like Raven kind of knew what was going on and just backed off preemptively. And he does make it out, although they are still chasing. Nando, he spots out Zephyr now. In fact, never mind, he spots out Raven as well. Do they keep going? Not quite Raven. He'll be able to walk out of there by himself. You still have vision because of those Lena illusions. And perhaps they will chase. Though no, it's only Grims.
Yeah, that fight was won out by the wards from Geek fam. They had a nice uphill ward, so when that smoke broke, Cignal immediately knew what was going on. They had a good ward there, and then they had that nice ward down here as well. So they were completely aware of the movements in the jungle, and that just cost Geek fam that smoke game.
Yeah. For for that jewel. Zephyr, he knows he's in the tree line somewhere in Jamesy. He's going to rotate around though. Zephyr has a blink up. We'll be able to get away. That's what you look away from Zephyr for 1 second and he finds a blink.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this guy really does work his heroes well. And again, look for him to try and set up for his team. If you're not comfy with opening with the Axe, you can definitely just open with a Inkswelled Grimstroke. That works just as fine.
Blink now up as well on Ryoya. A lot of initiation here from Geek Fam, a lot of different ways they can position themselves in these team fights. Cignal Ultra though, just playing as a team really well. Looking over to Jamesy again, he's going into that Yules next, he's already got the BOTs, so he's ready to help out the team wherever necessary. Second in net worth is going to be his own Void and Nando. And so they definitely are in the driver's seat once again, as they are going to find another. Dubu will go down to the Jewel and Mystic Flare. Van will pick up his second victory of the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know, I might be a bit early in doubting the Gyro up against the Void later on, but it just seems like there's so many ways to shut Raven down before the BKB, and even then, if you just wait out the BKB during the team fights, you know, eventually it is going to get to that 5-second mark.
It's not the easiest gyro game, but you can still do work. Again, Raven is actually 3-1 right now. He's had a pretty good time with it so far. The key thing is knowing when to go into these fights and knowing when not to take them. You have to be able to take these fights on favorable terms. You cannot actually go in and counter-initiate too well. I don't think that's going to be an option for Geek Fam with their lineup. If they get jumped with 2 heroes gone, that's it. They can't afford to try to follow up unless Cuckoo lands a massive call, or you have like the biggest amount of int on Ryoya and you can just nuke everyone down. You're going to have to be very conscious about the fights you take. You want to be able to force Cignal on your own terms. You can't respond to them. They have way too many ways to start these fights. Again, you have the Legion Commander duel, you have the Chronosphere to worry about, the Mystic Flare, the Lina to burst down, and Chain Frost. It's just all too much to work against. So I'm looking for Geek Fam to be a bit more aggressive, actually. They've had this blink on Cuckoo for a while, but it has not amounted to anything just yet.
Smoke from Geek Fam. They want to try and get some aggression out. Chrono is up though. In fact, every ultimate for Cignal Ultra is up right now.
Radiant's top tower is under
So perhaps just trying to bait out with this T1 tower push, though Cignal Ultra are currently in the mid lane and they might go for a smoke of their own. Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. That T1 though is still dropping, but it looks like the side of Geek Fam have left the beat. So Cuckoo may get caught out by himself, but he does break the smoke for the team and they have wards to give vision. Now Cignal probably will just opt to back out themselves. Bot bounty runes are available. At the very least, they will find a 3-for-1 trade on those bounties. In fact, never mind, it is a 2-for-2. I didn't realize Dubu actually got the top one himself.
Yeah, it's a fair enough trade. Again, the smokes aren't mounting to much. This does favor Geek Fam just a bit more, because as the Void builds up, of course, his Chrono just gets stronger and stronger. His presence in that Chrono is going to be a major factor now. That does give Raven a lot of time to farm up. He is just about 1 part away from his BKB, about 200 gold. And once that's up, of course, he's going to be looking to make a big reveal. Hopefully to greater success than Cuckoo's Blink reveal, because that has not yielded any concrete results just yet.
Looks like Cuckoo's just going straight into a Blade Mail now on the Axe, so should allow him to have more impact if he lands those nice calls. BKB up on Raven now as well, so you're not as worried about those Mystic Flares coming in through the Chrono or the Jewel. But you are still worried about the Chrono and the Jewel. It's just the follow-up damage, unless it's Nando, of course, with the right clicks. Like a lot of items coming out. Jamesy, he finishes off the Yules. See the Maelstrom there on Nando as well. I believe Cuckoo did manage to pick up the Blade Mail. In fact, he just needs a couple more gold to grab it. The Blade Mail that I was thinking of, though, is on Van on the Legion Commander now. So, quite a few items popping up. You'd imagine either side wants to smoke up right now, and I believe Cignal will be the first ones to do so, although Jewel comes out on Dubu. They catch out the Ogre, and that should be some more Jewel damage, and they find it just barely with that final right click from Van. And any damage always helps.
Definitely does. You are reaching that point where Van is going to be a big threat on their own, especially once that BKB is up. You're not going to have too much ways of controlling this Legion commander anymore. It's going to be a hard time really finding what you need there. Although, again, you still have that saving grace for the duels with that Astral Imprisonment as long as Ryoya is in the area. Unfortunately, for the most part, he hasn't, of course, as it's been solo pickoffs in the jungle, trying to get wards down, trying to get information out. That has been what Van has been building off of so far.
Looking over to Ryoya on the OD, it looks like he's going straight into the Scythe of Vice on the OD. Kind of an interesting pickup. Seems a bit early to go straight for that, but I suppose they just want to be able to control up Nando straight off the bat, though. Nando now has a BKB up. 10-second charge on him. And they're heading bot. They want to fight, but it's a smoke-on-smoke situation here. Geek fam, though, gonna have the low ground as Grims will break the Ogre. Now Van jumps in, but doesn't get the jewel off onto the Gyro, but they get the Chrono through the BKB as well. Nando, can he deal the damage? It's not quite gonna be there. Rocket Barrage comes out on Nando, BKBs himself, but the Soulbind is there as well. Chain Frost does absolutely nothing. They will find one back. No, Astral is there to save the day for Cuckoo, but they found the Gyrocopter. Cuckoo, he goes back down south with the blink and just TPs out immediately and does get out. Ryoya does the exact same, but still a 3-for-0 trade, and it could have been a full team wipe had it not been for the Astral of Ryoya to save Cuckoo.
Yeah, that's really what you have to watch out for from Geek Fam. That saving grace from Ryoya can turn some kills into saves. Nonetheless, though, it's a pretty big loss for Geek Fam. They lose out in their Gyrocopter once again. That was the 10-second BKB charge, going right into the Chronosphere, unfortunately enough. Very good timing from Nando once again. The Axe Blink, again, not paying off just yet. It would have been a death for him as well, and that's the Blade Nail reveal as well. So, it's really not falling into place for Geek Fam just yet. Again, these team fights, they're playing into Cignal's initiation so far. They've got to be able to find those pickoffs themselves first, and then try to force something bigger out.
17-8, Dota Plus, sitting at 71% for Cignal. I mean, after seeing their performance today so far, it's kind of crazy to think that they just came through the open qualifiers and they're doing this well. Raven, Jewel from Van, not going to be there in time. Cuckoo with the Ink Swarm, now the Soulbind as well. This could be the team fight they wanted. Mystic Flare and Sanities as well being dropped. Grims will end up going down. Now they also get Van on the Legion Commander. Nando, what can he do to help? He BKBs up, but he runs the other way. He didn't have Chrono available anyway. That was a great initiation there from Geek Fam. They won't find the mid-tier 1, but they find probably more than that anyway.
That is exactly what Geek Fam need to keep doing. Just set the terms of the fight, catch out Cignal every single time. It's just really rough to do that, right? That's what every single fight kind of boils down to, but they haven't really been on the aggressive side for a while now. So just getting that aggression on, finding those 2 kills is pretty big for them, and does give them a bit more to work with. Still, they are playing up against a 3k deficit. They have a lot of gaps to still plug in. The biggest one is Raven. His farm has not been amazing. He's about 3k behind Nando. Not where you want to be as the Gyrocopter.
Bot lane Cignal, making their way up to Ryoya, but again, he will blink out immediately. They won't get in distance, although Jamesy does get the LSA. And Yule's up as well. Here comes the Legion Commander with the jewel available. Blade Mail's up though. No, Astral will be there in time, and that buys time for the TPs to come in. Dubu immediately with the rest of the team rushing in to try and help out. And it looked like such a good opportunity, but it just wasn't quite there in the nick of time. So that jewel, it does have a split second where it's almost like a cast time, I suppose you'd argue, with the jewel.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Really unfortunate, but again, that Astral just ruins the plans. It does give enough time to reset, force TPs in from Geek Fam. So, pretty big kill slipping away like that, nonetheless. Cignal's not going to be too unhappy. They take another smoke. They're going to try to find something again.
Well, they've got the chrono up. Nando, though, is not really with his team right now, so it looks like he just wants to come in at the end, and they are going to go straight after the Yoga. Jewel will be victorious. Perhaps that's all they wanted. The rest of Geek Fam, though, are on the east side of the map. Grims may actually find Cuckoo. In fact, they use him up. LSA not going to be there. Side device coming out from Ryoyo, and now the Soulbind as well with the double silence. Cuckoo jumps in as well with the call, just controlling everyone up. Though the Chrono in the back. Nando, he's got the OD. They found Jamesy on the leaner as well. Raven trying to run away from Nando, and it looks like he should be able to get out. So Time Walk is on cooldown for Nando. And Eris unable to find Cuckoo to finish the job off. They found Grims on the Lich as well, and the rest of Cignal Ultra just want to get the hell out now.
It's a rough trade for Cignal overall. I think they did expend quite a few spells for that. It should be considered a win for Geek Fam. They still managed to find that nice Jamesy kill. They force out the Chronosphere as well. And overall, you're just going to be happy. You're not going to be too upset. You're rather sad that you did lose out on your OD, but again, you're starting to build up here. You're getting a lot of gold onto Raven. His impact is getting higher and higher. He has his Aghanims up now. So that's going to bump up his DPS by a fair bit.
Cignal take the Roshan, back off immediately. First Roshan of the game going their way. They have been pretty on point with these Roshans as well, always taking advantage of when they can. I mean, even when it looks like they're in a disadvantage towards Geek Fam, they just kind of walk in as two and find it before they can even react. Geek Fam, I mean, they'll get back to farming.
Oh, Zephyr.
By whose
Jamesy found him. I was about to say, I am still questioning the gyrocopter. I just don't know how good I feel about it late game up against the Void.
I really think it's okay. Again, every hero, if you're just going to compare it to Void, boils down to, do you have something like Chronosphere? For a lot of heroes, that's no, because that's really what Void boils down to, right? Just having that Chrono, having that control. I think as a hero, in terms of stat game, and in terms of the damage output you can pump out, Gyrocopter is actually stronger. He just lacks that control aspect, which, is the issue when you go up against Void. Chronosphere is always going to be an issue. It really depends on how Raven plays his positioning here. Nando has been pretty on point, though.
Oh,
but I don't think Raven's lanking damage at
Nando
all.
pops the BKB, gonna go after Dubu, and this will be another easy pickup on the Yoga. The rest of Geek Fam just ran the hell out of there. And it was Grims, he just placed an Observer Ward on the high ground and immediately saw three of them. And they just backed off as soon as they saw him. So to give away another tier 2 tower to the side of Cignal. Or I should say the first tier 2 tower of the game. I suppose they could just go for more. Looks like they are going to go towards that mid lane tier 2 as well. They understand Geek Fam is just not interested in going for team fights right now. So they're going to game
It's just hard for them to force these fights. You have to be conscious about that. Chronosphere, it's up. Once again, they have the Aegis still on Nando. There are, again,
Dubu. TP's in. Gets a Fire Blast off at least, and he has help from Raven. They could try to turn this around. In fact, he's doing a lot of damage, but no, the Chrono comes out. Nando, he does have Time Walk. He won't commit it. He'll hold on to it with the Aegis. He was surrounded anyway, I suppose. Now, BKB's up, just wants to get out of there. The rest of the team is kind of catching up to Nando, though Cuckoo, he'll jump in as well. Goes after Jamesy. Zephyr, he'll be there with the stroke of bait, and Cuckoo, where's the call? It's on cooldown for another 5 seconds. They're going to continue this chase, though. They really want this mid-laner kill. And it looks like Cuckoo should eventually find it, though. No, nice Yule's dodge. Cooldown is not going to be there in time. He blinks out of there just in the nick of time. And now they might turn it as Cuckoo, his BKB wears off. Nando jumps back in. Can they catch anyone off guard, though? Fire Blast, Dubu, he's definitely dead. Cuckoo should be the secondary target, and he is. Laguna Blade straight to the face from Jamesy. What a turnaround though from Jamesy, just avoiding everything. And I'm telling you, John, the Cignal Ultra, they're making it look like child's play at this point, the way they're dodging these abilities.
They definitely do. That was really impressive coming out from Jamesy. Good timing in that duels. And then just to blink out afterwards, just the fact that your Lena lived through that makes that entire chase worthwhile. Sure, you gave away the Aegis, you still find some pretty big kills, and you force out some pretty big item usages coming out from Geek Fam. That should give you enough space to perhaps shove in that tier 2 down mid to at least take it out. It only has about 460 HP left as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like they are setting up for the mid tier 2, and Nando, he'll just time walk himself in. Press the attack, it is a pretty darn quick process. So now one outer tower left for the side of Geek Fam, and that is going to be the bot tier 2 tower. Cignal just going to keep doing what they're doing at this rate.
Yeah, they've got all the tools they want. They've got really good damage onto Van now. And he's slowly working himself to that BKB. Just about, I don't know, like 700, 800 gold away. So once that's up, he can just jump in by himself without a care in the world, pop his blade mail, get that duel off, burn someone down, get some more damage going. Snowball, snowball, snowball is what Cignal looks to do in that sense. But it's a very tempered snowball. They're not in a rush. They're not being impatient about it. They're still farming up. They're taking their time. They're being safe. And that's pretty smart from them.
Eris has just been infuriating as well with the Skywrath Mage Aghanim Scepter. In fact, he might go for Raven. Concussive shot and just TP out. It's going to be annoying.
Radiant's middle tower
Rest the
is
Cignal.
under attack.
Sticking together. Nando has Chrono back up, so you have safety in numbers, especially with that Chrono. Looks like Zephyr is going to be saving up for his own Scythe device on the Grimstroke. I suppose once you have that up, then you have essentially quadruple hexes with the OD, assuming it lasts long enough with the Soulbind. Zephyr can just ensure that he gets the double hex off at the very least, rather than having to depend on the OD to time it perfectly. Van picks up a BKB, and it looks like that'll be time. That'll be Q at least for them to smoke up and go again. They do head the right way. Geek Fam running the same way as well. Scythe device did just come up on Zephyr though. This is a very scary moment for Cignal. They're going to run into Cuckoo. They know exactly where he is as well. They'll just jump in, get rid of this axe. Soulbind will be there into the double hex. In fact, no, it's only one hex because Nando BKB'd up, but he's got a time walk out of there. Copped a lot of damage. Homing Missile is continuing to chase though. He still has Chrono. There is turn potential here for the side of Cignal. They will not, as they have lost their Lena in the process of getting that axe. And so another 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, overall, probably a bit of a gain for Geek Fam. It does look like they ended up getting a lot of gold onto Raven from that exchange. So they're going to be pretty happy about that. Again, that should allow them to take this tier 2 down bot as well. So they do manage to get an objective out of that trade and going to be fairly happy. Slowly building up once again onto Raven. He does have his level 20 talent. Did opt for move speed, so it's going to be much harder to pin this guy down. Moving at 506.
Zephyr's just juking and jiving. Van cannot find the jewel and he just gets out. Now they might actually be able to set up on him as well. Van, he gets fire blasted up by Dubu. Ryoya's here with the hexes. Astral's up the Legion Commander. He'll find Iris. The Mystic Flare is going to be nice, but Van, he's still in trouble. Sanity's being dropped straight away. Zephyr again, up against two heroes, just walks away and sets up for his team.
That's just how the guy plays. He is a monster in this position forehand. He's done so much work for his team last game as well with his Grimstroke. So he's just setting the pace. He's finding these counter kills. It does give Geek Fam a slight net worth lead now at 25-16.
They found the OD though, straight Laguna Blade from Jamesy. Chrono was committed, although they may turn again. Dubu, Fire Blast there. Silence was being out, but Nando, he BKBs up through it. Cuckoo, can he get a call off with the Inkswell? Not quite. Nando though, time walking, and yeah, he's out.
Oh, these are, again, pretty staggered exchanges coming out here from both Cignal and Geek fam. Overall, I guess you'd be happy with that one kill. It was on a pretty big target. Unfortunately, you can't really transition that to anything else. I think the one thing that has been bugging me is Nando's BKB usage has been very liberal. He's down to 5-second charges now, and it's still pretty effective. It's just that he pops them pretty early on, preemptively, which is understandable. It just costs them any sort of follow-up at that case.
See if he does end up paying for that later on, as it is getting in later stages of the game, and these BKB timings do really start to matter. So both teams fairly even. Still 1k or less than 1k advantage to the side of Cignal. Although, again, they will go straight into the Roshan, and Geek fam just seem unprepared for this. They are grouping up. Raven doesn't have cooldown right now. Nando doesn't have the ultimate either, but he will have it in about 8 seconds. So Chrono will be available just before that Roshan goes down. So they'll wait it out. They'll play it safe. Roshan's pretty darn low. It's almost like they're baiting them into that pit. It's enticing Geek fam to come in and try and take it off them. Nando, he'll jump back in. Take care of it by himself. Who initiates though? I mean, it's got to be Cuckoo right on the axe. A lot of damage being dealt to Nando, but press the attack will heal him up, and now he BKBs. Aegis is there. Dubu, he's too far forward. He'll go down to the jewel. Can they find any more? Cuckoo jumps in, doesn't find the call though, and concussive shot will fly out. The Cignal, they will not fight any further. They got the Aegis, there's no reason to try and push the advantage. So it looks like Geek fam actually want to fight this, and James, he might just turn around with the air. He gets the Light Strike Array, and Cuckoo may just be dead. Blade Mail comes out. Chrono will only find Zephyr. Mystic Flare is there, but the Astral will save for now. Still Nando, no BKB available. He's going to man fight Ryoya, and there's Van in the background as well. They found Zephyr. Black Cannon, Sanity's Eclipse being dropped. Grims goes down. Jamesy is low. Nando, he can't do much without that BKB, although LSA connects again from Jamesy, and with that, they'll turn it around on Raven. Now Nando, he jumps back in after Cuckoo, who's trying to man fight this Void. It's not the greatest idea though, as Ryoya, he goes down as well. Nando's moving even more forward. He wants that final kill on the axe. Blade Mail will come out. There's the core coming out. He actually might find the Void though. No, the jewel will be there in time. They'll find another on the side of Geek fam. And Cignal Ultra going to that mid lane. I mean, there's 4 heroes down, only one of them has buyback right now, and that's the Gyro. This should be at least 1 Rax, maybe even more.
Yeah, that is a really good team fight coming out from Cignal, really prolonged from that Roche pit. I was surprised when they backed off at first, but then again, they didn't have vision up the river. They only had vision on their side. And they still managed to turn that really far forward from Cuckoo. In the end, baits them into a pretty big team fight. That does cost them. Geek fam is going to have to pay for that with at least 2 sets of racks. Nando is not backing off. He has the Satanic. He has the Aegis. There's no reason to.
Jamesy finds a nice use off. That'll mean Dubu's gone. Limit Cape though does save him. They don't actually have detection for him. But secondary Rax is gone. Do they go for a third? Not quite. The tier 2 is available down bot, but Cignal going to be very, very happy with the lead they've just achieved. And the all chat continues. Eris even rubbing it into Ryoya. Now the shrines to be taken from Cignal Ultra.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
16k net worth lead from that. Though to plus 91% probability now that Cignal will win this game.
It was a massive swing off the back of that one post-Roshan fight. And you just take a look at the heroes over on Cignal now. They're all pretty damn big. You take a look at Van. He has 126 bonus damage. He does a lot of work. He has a Shadow Blade now as well to go in and out of these fights. Nando, again, he has that Satanic up. He's had it for a few minutes now. And it's just another way of him to get back into these fights. We've seen him do it over and over again as well. He's not going to be too threatened by that Blade Mail on Cuckoo anymore. With that Satanic, he just has a way to regen back up.
What do you think Geek Fam can do here? They're really starting to fall behind. What's the play?
They've got to be able to take these team fights on their own terms. As I said, their initiations have not been going cleanly. We haven't seen the best calls coming out from Cuckoo to start the fights. It's always a follow-up, and by then, you've already lost perhaps the favorable positioning.
Ace Ruin, Nando has Chrono. A lot of heroes up there, they hex him up though, but he has a haste. He'll just run out of there. No, Cuckoo gets the call off, but there's no follow-up. Nando, he'll BKB and he found Raven. Still, nice Astral. The Laguna, I believe, was dodged by the Astral, but still Raven, no, he goes down. Ryoya now going to be chased out. The jewel is there, and unfortunately, it looks like this OD's dead. Though no, Cuckoo jumps in again. It's not going to be enough, though. Cuckoo may drop as well. It looks like he will indeed, although Raven, he TP's back, he BKB's up, and he'll go straight after Eris. Meanwhile, Grim startling gaze, take down Dubu on that Ogre. He's still alive somehow, though. Stroke of Fate from Zephyr, they'll get rid of Grim, so Nando comes back in. Another one bites the dust. Raven trying to do as much work as he can. Nando still holds the Aegis, so he still wants to keep going. Raven, he's actually tankier than he looks, although those bashes, they're not too friendly, but Zephyr's there with the Hex. Though Zephyr now may give his own life away, though no, the Inkswell will save. Still, Lena is back. Jamesy sets up with the LSA. They'll find another. Nando, does he want to keep going? Tier 4s are available. Man. Dubu almost goes down. Nando still holds the Aegis. He can really afford to do this, but now they just go for the Tier 4s. The creeps are there. When the Ancient is under siege, they will not. The Aegis will expire, so it's perfectly timed from Nando to back off, and he wants to go for that Tier 2 and Megas, it seems.
I mean, that's just a massive fight going the way of Cignal once again. Geek Fam, look, they tried. It looked reckless from Nando. He just ran in.
Inkswell, Raven, can they burst him down? He has no Aegis. This could be massive. He's getting perma-stunned right now, and he does go down. It's Zephyr with the initiation to get the job done. Who needs a call, John? Zephyr will get the job done with an Inkswell.
Yeah, that is a big loss now for Cignal after that massive team fight going their way. Just a bit too far forward from Nando. Almost the same story as the last fight they had. He was really far forward, except in that case he managed to use that Chaos to his advantage. This time around, Geek Fam, much more single-minded, no backup for Nando as well. So it does cost him massively. That's a good amount of gold going the way of Geek Fam. They buy themselves a nice bit of time as well to get something going for themselves, perhaps to get a counter push. But their Ancient is still exposed, so you're going to have to really leave one here behind to take care of this every single time. Otherwise, you're going to be copying too much damage on that Ancient. That could be counterproductive.
Did it have to be Zephyr getting left behind, though? It seems like he's pretty impactful on that Crimstroke in these fights.
Yeah, it's...
You alright? You were saying?
Honestly, I feel like in this case, you'd probably leave Dubu behind. Sure, you really want to keep bloodlusting Raven at the same time. Zephyr is a lot of your control. Just all those hexes flying out, the double hex, the Inkswells coming out, the Phantom's Embrace as well. It just does so much for your team that if you were going to leave a guy behind, it should be Dubu, but at the same time, he doesn't have travels. So perhaps that is why the choice the responsibility fell onto Zephyr, because he can kind of just rejoin a fight as needed.
Fair call. So things are so much more intense in this game. As 6k net worth lead now, it just dropped by about 12k. Win probability just continuously going down. This is what the net worth looks like. Yasha and Kaya will be up for Ryoya. And it's a pretty late pickup, but it's going to help his cause. Bot tier 2 tower, Van will go ahead and clean that up.
We're at that point where a game is like a wound spring. You see a smoke coming out from Geek Fam as well. They want to spring it.
Oh, nice call, Cuckoo. He has the blade mail as well. This Void's in trouble. Though, can they help him out? Not quite. They dunk him. Van falling low as well. They dunk him as well. Cuckoo on a double. He wants to move forward. He wants to find more dunks. Eris, he'll TP out on the high ground. The rest are out of there as well. Luckily for Cignal Ultra, they have buybacks available on both those cores, so it's not a lost cause at the very least, but can Geek Fam capitalize and at least try to force some buybacks out of this?
Looks like they will make this take this opportunity to take that Roshan first. That does have the Agnum's Blessing now as well, so that's going to be one free Ags going to one lucky person. Probably, who will they prioritize? Are they just going to give it straight up to Ryoya, or perhaps Cuckoo? I think you get much more value from Ryoya getting it, or arguably Dubu, or no, actually Sepher would be the best, really. Just Ags upgrading him is pretty big.
Yeah, the Inkswell Portrait, I believe it is, or the Ink Portrait. Yeah. I mean, if you take that and you just copy the Void, seems like a good idea.
They did give it to Cuckoo instead.
What's the upgrade for the axe again?
AoE Battle Hunger along with damage reduction. Damage output reduction, 30%. So
I see, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it does work quite nicely against the Void and the Legion Commander. So you will be mitigating a lot of their damage.
I mean, the thing is, he's got to try and get it after their BKBs has been used up. Which is fair enough, because they're such short BKBs. They did not force out the buybacks, though. So both those buybacks we talked about are basically still available on the side of Cignal Ultra. And it looks like they may just go for a smoke now. They are going to stay grouped up. But no smoke quite yet. Looks like they may not have any available. Raven. Actually going for an Abyssal Blade on the Gyrocopter. Not something you see every day, but I can understand just having that continuous lockdown on that Void is just so important. Meanwhile, Cuckoo, he picks up a heart on the axe now, so he's just a bit tankier. Quite a lot tankier. See how much of a difference it makes for him, though. We're in that stalemate part of the game where, I mean, it's obviously Cignal Ultra's advantage, though somehow Geek Fam have the net worth advantage. And in some strange way, it kind of seems like they're just stronger at this point. Mostly due to the fact that Nando just doesn't have a long BKB duration.
Yeah, it's down to that BKB, as well as, again, the damage output coming out right now is much stronger. I'd say Raven is definitely a scarier core. He can really spread that damage out. He has a good lock on as well, although...
Raven gonna move in. Goes after Grims. Grims gonna be able to survive this homing missile. He'll be fine. They're just one of those bounty runes, it seems. Both bolt bounty runes are basically still available, and they are gonna go get those as well. So Geek Fam gonna get away with 4 bounty runes if Cuckoo goes for them. He doesn't, and Jamesy will just go and collect at least one.
But yeah, we're at that point where both teams are feeling the tension now. They understand that even with a slight net worth advantage at this point, 8k at 15 minutes in, it's not that massive. You have a much tighter game now. The map control is definitely on Cignal's side with the 2 sets of racks cleaned out and the tier 4s cleaned out. They just haven't found that opening they need to start destroying that Ancient, the name of the game. Unfortunately enough, that is down to Geek Fam having a lot of tools at their disposal. Again, Sepher has been on point with those hexes coming out. You also have Ryoya hitting like a truck, along with Raven, and Cuckoo's Calls has been buying a lot of space nowadays. So you've got to watch out for all of this. For Cignal, they really ride off the back of Nando landing those Chronos. When he can, it ends up being a complete wash, of course. When he doesn't land a Chronos on the targets he needs, it just kind of falls apart. Even if they find 1 or 2 kills, if it's not the kills they need, then it's all for naught. So you're really starting to see caution from both sides. They understand one fight can turn the tides at this point, and they're just happy enough just taking their time, securing themselves their buybacks before buying big items. That is what seems to be Nando is doing. He's trying to save up before finishing up that butterfly.
Butterfly will be the pickup now from Nando. I believe, well, there actually is no MKB on Raven, so he wasn't quite prepared for that. Could make all the difference. Still, though, there's so many hexes available that the Butterfly may just not matter. The Aegis does expire once again. Cignal. Do they smoke? They do. Yeah, global concussive shot, always helpful in finding out where your enemies are. Will reveal exactly where the gyro is. Meanwhile, Nando, though, broke his own smoke. Cuckoo looking for a call attempt. Dubu as well, moving forward. Getting prepared for this, and Cignal, they do not want to take that team fight with the low ground disadvantage. It looks like they are just going to wait for another day to try and take that team fight. Can't forget, they've waited so long as well that basically everyone on the map has buyback available right now. There's not a single person on this map that doesn't. So essentially, you've got to win 2 team fights.
That's really what I think both sides were trying to secure for themselves, just having that buyback gold ready. Because, you know, at around 50 minutes in, which was where we're at, it's all down to buybacks, being able to turn a fight. The biggest issue there is that for Cignal, even if they have buybacks, the issue is that Nando just doesn't have the Ags. He doesn't go for the Ags every single time. And that means your Chronosphere cooldown is stuck at 140 seconds, which means even if you buy back, you don't have that control. Which, for a lot of times, you really see the difference now. I'm wondering whether or not the next rush he is going to get prioritized for that Ags. If Cignal do opt to clear that out, I think that's going to be a massive piece of what allows Cignal to take the following fights.
Nando picks up a double damage, can't really make advantage of it, so just takes out the bottom shrine.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen. Dire are scanning.
Be a big team fight though at this top lane. Ryoya. They're looping around. Van. Can he find the opening? Ryoya does back off on the OD. Van though continues moving forward. He sees Zephyr as well though. Blinks a bit too far and well, maybe they find him anyway. Nando jumps in, doesn't commit chrono though for Zephyr. Van gets hexed up, Soulbind is there as well, call down coming in, Chrono, no not quite yet, they've lost Van already, he'll buy back immediately, Nando, he's just not using the Chrono, he's trying to find a target, and now he's being called up,
no.
Cuckoo with the Blade Mail as well, it's a lot of damage, Mystic where they dunk him down, way too much hesitation, he does not buy back yet either as well, they found Grims on the Lich, Chain Frost finally comes out, it's not going to mean any form of difference though, as 3 heroes are lost for the sake of none. There was one buyback, I believe, from Geek Fan, but no, apparently not. It was actually from the Legion Commander. So Geek Fam in a prime position to try and take a team fight and force out those buybacks, but the problem is they've still got to push out these waves.
Not only that, but they can't even take advantage of these kills by forcing Roshan out. You respawn is kind of mid there, but it's nowhere near close enough. So about a minute out for that, they're not going to be able to secure that Rosh. They're going to have to try to at least just farm up the lanes. It's the least they could do, and maybe apply some chip damage to a tower. But the respawns are rolling around. About 40 seconds for Nando, and once he's up, of course, even if he buys back, he's going to have that Chrono Spear.
There's the buyback from Jamesy. He buys a refresher orb as well. He's had enough of this. It's as much damage output as he can. Buyback from Grims, but Nando is holding on, and that's the one they want. Raven, though, testing the waters. Cuckoo, he'll jump in with the Blade Mail once again. Get rid of that Skywrath Mage buyback. Well, Soulbind is there. He'll buy back immediately, but Grims may die back. In fact, not quite. Homing Missile will not do the job either. The Flak Cannon, it's not going to be enough on the Lich. He gets away with about 100 HP. And Geek Fam, they did not get the buyback they wanted on the Void, and he will respawn now, and that is Q to leave. Or maybe not. Maybe they've had enough of this game, and they want to try and push forward. But no, Geek Fam, they take a tier 3. It opens up the shrine, so Nando, Chrono, he found the Raven. Laguna is there as well. He refreshes. Can they find more? That was a massive kill from Nando. He finds another in the form of the Ogre. Dubu going down. The Astral is there as well to try and save Cuckoo on the axe. Though he's a sitting duck, but he'll go back into Sanities. Ryoyu with the damage. Nando's in trouble. He's got a time walk out of there. They found the Skywrath as well. 3 heroes down with no buyback. Geek Fam, they may have pushed it back. Nando, without the Chronosphere, John, I don't know if he can defend this any longer. He has a refresher orb, though.
Oh, there you go. That might be it. They won't expect this one coming out.
T-Force, Cuckoo. Gotta be careful about how much damage he cops. Nando's gotta land the perfect Chrono. Call. Finds the Lina. Dubu gonna loop around. Again, the Chrono. He does throw it, and it's got 3 of them as well. Straight after Raven. The LSA does land. That's a dieback on Raven as well. Cuckoo, he's gonna be so careful not to die. He'll be alright. They're still going after those tier 4s. They know the Chrono's down again. They can't refresh it another time that quick. But they're kind of confused, it seems. Geek Fam, do they keep going? Do they not? Bloodlust on Ryoyu. He does hit fast enough to take care of these tier 4s. Cuckoo jumps in as well. Nando. Cuckoo. Blade Mail. Call again. They hex him up as well. He comes Zephyr with the Ink Swell. They find the 4th one. What a comeback coming out from Geek Fam. Nando, has he just given up?
Nando?
He's actually TPing
Base
back
race?
to the other Ancient. It could be a base race, but no. It's been stopped. Nando, he's going to have to man fight by himself. Ryoyu almost goes down. Can he take it? He can. That's the main form of damage. Cuckoo trying to fight back. They hex him up. They've got to control this Void, but he's wasting as much time as he possibly can. Nando just got to survive as long as you can and protect that Ancient, sir. He's going after Cuckoo now. Cuckoo just trying to get that call off. Go back for the Ancient. Meanwhile, the OD trying to defend his own Ancient. They're still taking care of Nando, but he jumps back in. The Ancient is so down low, but he has Lich in 7 seconds. He's just going to buy more time. Another hex. The fortification is there, though. They're just dragging it out. There's the Lich respawning now. He can jump back in and help out. Cuckoo, though, BKB's up. Ryoya's there as well. This is all over, I think. The Chain Frost, though, the Jewel as well. They get one. It's not going to be enough, though. Geek Fam push it back. And just 10 seconds before the hour mark. What a comeback from Geek Fam to tie out the series 1-1. What a game to end the night, John. My goodness.
Yeah, that was intense right at the end. When that tension sprung out and both teams just finally take that fight, it was just messy. It looked really good for Geek Fam at first, and then Nando comes in with a refresher, finds that big Raven dieback, and makes it look wonky. He manages to hold that Ancient with just him and Jamesy for a very long time. They do force the creep wave out as well because it's naturally pushing in, but Ryoyo's buyback was around, so that couldn't work out. He tried his best towards the end. Cignal gave us a really good run. A really tight fight between those two teams. It does end in a draw. Our only draw of the day, Mike.
Whew, my hands are shaking, John. What a team fight that was. Nevertheless, John, that is it for us tonight. It's been a bit of a wild night with a lot of ups and downs, but it's been a pleasure. I believe we will be back tomorrow. John, any final words before we head out for the night?
You know, hopefully everyone's had fun. We do have a lot more Southeast Asian Dota coming up tomorrow, so hopefully stick around on whatever channel we're on tomorrow. I'm not quite sure which one yet, but we will be back, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed our casting, if you didn't enjoy our casting, if you want to let us know, we are on Twitter at JohnXFire and at MLPDota. So go ahead and message us if you want, or follow us if you enjoyed. Nonetheless, again, as Mike mentioned, we'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully you guys did have fun.
Yep, certainly. So thank you for joining me again, John. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully the games tomorrow are as good as they were today. We'll see you tomorrow.